Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at the GL06 weapon light from Fenix. This here a small compact offering from Fenix. Overall basic features but a pretty simple and interesting light. Now I do have at this point some ideas, some thoughts. I've used this at the range. It performed very well, no problem at all. We're going to go through it in detail. I'll show you how I got this set up. Then we'll do a little bit of shooting just to make sure that the weapon light performs, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. So with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Fenix who did provide this for review. And if you're interested in one of these GL06 weapon lights, do me a favor, take a look in the description box below where you can get all the details. Down below you will find relevant links to where you can purchase these. It helps out not only Fenix, not only gets you a beautiful light, but it also helps me here on the channel. So if you like what you see here today, do me a favor, check out the links below. And so again, the Fenix GL06, a fairly straightforward, simple light, nice construction, seemingly very well made, aluminum, nice overall housing, simple buttons on the side. So from the actuation perspective, very easy to lean on the button. That is simple. You can click it real quick and it will come on, or you can pinch both of them and you will get that tactical strobe. So lean on it, strobe, and then off. You also have the ability to swap out the adapter. So as you see here, this currently having the 1913 adapter. This also comes with a Glock adapter, which I have to be honest, I have misplaced. I don't know where it is. I had it at the range. I was making some adjustments and I seem to have possibly lost it. I think it's in my gear bag. I haven't been able to find it. I just need to look. And unfortunately right now I need it because it does change the spacing of this light on my handguns. And the way this works is it's just this little sort of piece that you twist and it pops out, and then you can change it out for the Glock adapter. So to space it out a little bit different, you can either put it forwards or backwards, which kind of changes the overall lay length. This is a little bit cumbersome. I get what they're going for. It kind of works, but at the same time, again, that small little disc is fairly easy to lose, and I misplaced my Glock adapter. On the side here, you can see this part is awesome. I love this mechanism. So the mounting mechanism and the clamp, very simple. And I like that this all sits very flush. There's no real way you're gonna accidentally bump that and open it up. So that works very well. An adjustment screw on the side for tension and to get everything kind of mounted the way that you need. Overall, you can see on the inside, we do have the battery. So as I get the battery out of here, pretty straightforward. You end up with fairly nice threads, and this is gasketed for water resistance. And then on the inside, a small Fenix battery, so micro USB rechargeable. It's a 16340 3.6 volt 2.52 watt hours 700 milliamp hour battery, and so far I've had overall excellent life. Now this is a 600 lumen flashlight, 140 meters of overall throw, so that's pretty nice. You can see it's actually a fairly warm beam. This is warmer than most of my other beams. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I like it. It's actually, I would call it the neutral white versus a cool white, which is fine. It's actually pleasant to the eyes and doesn't really bother me too much. And I guess that is the first intent of a light, is the ability to see your target. You can see on the inside of the lens, this does actually have a little bit of orange peel, which is going to be a nice balance between the throw and the flood. So a good even beam as we get down. You can see it does have a defined hot spot with a good even throw off to the sides. Right hand or left hand operation, which is awesome. And again, you pinch to get instant access to that strobe. The packaging, very simple, gives you some statistics here. So they are saying that the runtime at 600 lumens is going to be, in essence, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Again, 140 meters of throw, 4,880 candela, 1 meter impact resistance, and IPX7 waterproof. Inside the box, again, it did have the adapters. I was hoping that my Glock adapter was just lost inside here, but unfortunately it's not. Little user's manual. You end up with your warranty card. Simple O-ring. Again, this did have that Glock adapter in there. And then your micro USB charging cable. And of course, the light. So with that overview, let's hit the range. And so, all right, now back from the range, generally speaking, very good. You can see performing well, no problem. I did drop this a couple of times, unfortunately, but maybe that's a good thing. I mean, it did really test the overall sort of quality. No dings, no dents, no problems. It certainly functions just fine. So from that perspective, worked out very well. Of course, you do have the ability to mount this on any kind of rail. So I'm using the 1913 rail. Worked out very well for my needs. Getting some quick beam shots. Here you can see the strobe. Lung press, locking that in. Good amount of light. It's not the most punch. It's going to be good to be able to identify and see your target. I wouldn't say necessarily you're going to be blinding anybody. No. Getting outside for some beam shots. Here you can see illuminating my dog. This is not necessarily going to be enough light to blind somebody, but it is certainly more than enough to identify a target, positively identify a target. So from that perspective, that does work well. You can see that hot spot with the flood off to the side. As I press both buttons here, that tactical strobe, that strobe up against the house. Fairly disorienting, but a singular pattern here. It's not oscillating. And off. Where I do think you're going to be limited, you're going to be very limited in your overall ability to find an appropriate holster. That is going to be a problem if you're into firearms or, handguns. You probably realize at this point, most of the time you end up with a proprietary combination of both the firearm itself and the weapon light. In most cases, when you get into weapon light retention, it is actually I would say, weapon light bearing or light bearing retention. And so you have to have a very specific holster for your particular setup. In this case, I don't see that there are many options out there. If there are, please weigh in the description box below. I have tested this. I've found at least the ability to come close, and I'm sure that there are holsters that I personally don't have that would work, but I think that is going to be one drawback, is the general lack of availability of holster options. But other than that, Fenix always doing a nice job, great job with their batteries, awesome job with their construction, and the GL06 is no exception. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the GL06 weapon light from Fenix. All in all, pretty reasonable test. I mean, obviously, that wasn't a full, robust test, but it was enough to get some impressions. I think it's a nice light. I like the overall beam quality. I think just the one thing that ends up being difficult, the ability to find appropriate holsters. That's going to be a little bit of a drawback. So if it was a home defense light, this would be awesome. I think some people probably will have holster options available. If you look around, certainly there may be some that are a little more generic or forgiving for the size of the light. This is close in what I have, but not perfect. So just be mindful. All in all, great construction. I love the lever and the mechanism. And the only other thing that's difficult, and I get, again, what they're going for. I think this sort of key here is a good idea, with the one exception being you just need to be really careful as a user and not lose your Glock adapter. And so again, to the people at Fenix, thank you so much for providing this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless channel, which is more on my primary gear. On that channel, I cover everything from hiking, camping, and backpacking excursions, all the gear that goes with it. So from sleep systems, shelter systems, knives, axes, backpacks, flashlights, you name it, that's my Outer Limitless YouTube channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.